Chloe's been dead for 5 months today. I need to go back. I've tried 100 times by now, but my powers are gone. I've tried to get them back, but nothing works. Maybe this will. I know it's desperate, but it's all I've left to try. Life or death.
Just like you do. You always do. Just like you do. Just like you do. Old and ravaging picture, is this all I've held on to? Worth 1,000 words that tell a lie of how you feel it too. I feel it come and go. I feel it come and go, just like you do. You always do. Just like you do. I don't need you. Just like you do. I don't need you. Just like you do. I don't need you.
So, you are lying unconscious in a van while I drive us into the horizon, right? I can feel myself getting more and more paranoid. So the next town over, I go into a drugstore and get a bunch of things to give the van a makeover. I get creative with some paint. I bust it up and scratch it real good. And then duct tape the black matter to the license plate. No fugitives here. Just new age artsy hippies in a shitty beat up van. Turns out to be such a dumb waste of time. You'll see. All the while, you're passed out cold inside. You're passed out for hours and hours. By the time you come to, we're in a truck stop somewhere in frickin' Idaho. Happiest moment ever when you call my name. Even then, you're desperate to know if I got hurt. You're fucking incredible. I talk you into taking some painkillers and not to worry about a thing. And you're pretty out of it, so you don't argue too much. I get some stuff so we can sleep in the van. And we keep going for as long as I can stay awake. Late that same night, Helen Breer finds us. Because that's what she does. But she's alone. She wants to talk. I wasn't at my most receptive, and I nearly shot her. Which maybe would have been the smart choice. Staying ahead of these guys would be a lot easier without her. But hey, we're not murderers, right? You see, Helen's as much as a prisoner as we ever were. She's secretly desperate for a chance at freedom. And she just watched from a distance as you got rid of 8 trained men and women in a few seconds. She knows you can time travel, and Prescott's making such a big deal about controlling you that there must really be a good reason for it. So, if there's someone out there that can get her out, it's you. You seem barely there. So I do most of the talking while you listen. I'm asking questions, and boy, does she have an attitude for someone that's asking for help. She keeps staring at you, like I don't even exist. She's this world-weary Scottish 30-something. She's read our profile and she's acting like we're just clueless teenage girls playing with fire. Even after what she saw you do to those guys, she doesn't seem concerned at all that we might just decide to get rid of her right there and then. She says that Prescott gives her cash and training, but keeps the sword of Damocles over her head at all times. Or rather, her sister's whole family. She's proven her loyalty over and over for years, so she doesn't really get questioned anymore. If she wanted to fuck us over, she didn't even have to tail us, because the van's got GPS tracker, and how could we be so dumb to stay in it? Sure, made me feel like an idiot. She could have been a good lapdog and stayed away. She could have come in here, pointing guns and demanding things, but instead she just approached us in good faith. She's unarmed and she's going to tell us how to evade her powers, so that she can later truthfully say that she lost us. She'll share everything she knows, and help however she can as long as it doesn't give her up. All that we need to do is kill the man when the opportunity comes. I'll admit, I only needed one glance at you to know I was all for it. I still am. Someone hurts you like that, I'm gonna see red until they pay. There's nothing else to it. You're just sitting there, head down, listening. Then you calmly reach for your bag, fish out your camera and take a photo of yourself. You shake it and put it away, quiet like death. Then you look up at her and disappear. Here we go again, right? A moment later, you're standing behind her with a gun to her spine. You speak in this low, furious rasp. We helped you and you dare betray us? I'm seeing her terrified face, and it's probably something like my own. A fuck bomb is going off in my head, and I'm already lining up questions to ask future you. But you're rather busy at the moment. You're tearing into her, saying how we treated her as a friend, and yet she double-crossed us at the first setback. How you're a fucking time traveler, so of course you'd see her coming. You were angry like I'd never seen you before, or since. I admit, it was pretty scary. I remember your words so well. Get this in your head, you tell her. There's no middle ground. You can't play for both teams and see who wins. Betray us? No. Wait, you went. You have one more chance. Betray us again and I will come back to erase you from existence. She looked rattled like you wouldn't believe, but to her credit, she takes a minute to process what you're saying and then she nods. Helen starts telling you things, but you shut her up and tell her to skip to the end, since you already heard everything she has to say. And apparently skipping to the end means shooting her in the leg and taking her bike. No. It's her idea. She claims it's no big deal, that she's gone through so much worse. She knows how to treat a bullet wound. Just don't shatter her kneecap or something stupid like that. What she's afraid of is getting caught helping us, so she'd rather appear incompetent. Say that you used your powers to jump her because she underestimated us and got sloppy. All of which is true, considering. So, I volunteered to do it. You've shot enough people already. I thought you'd argue, but you simply nodded at me, like you get it. It was no fun at all, to be honest. When the deed was done, we gather everything we can carry, and leave her swearing like a sailor in the van, with all the medical supplies she could ever need, until they come for her. We're walking to her sweaty-ass Harley, and you're leaning on me like you're about to pass out. I'm desperate for answers, before present you takes over again, so I start whispering questions. You look up at me with this smug little smile on your lips. I didn't use the photo, you tell me. It was just obvious that I needed to scare the shit out of her. Pretty sure it worked. Yep. That's right. No photo jump at all. Just a badass performance and a whole bunch of rewinds. You basically owned her ass. You're so full of shit. You can be devious and you know it, Max. Don't feel ashamed. It's something to be proud of. Anyway, I'm practically carrying you by the time we get to the bike. Rewinding around her bullshit wiped you out for good. We dig through her bags for suspicious shit, and then off we go into the road again. Everything's so fucked up. But it'd be a lie to say it didn't feel awesome to ride off together like that. This whole thing lets us catch a break. By the way, the main trick to fooling Helen's power is trail saturation. We just need to mail our stuff all over the country and make sure it ships on ground. The more it's in contact with us, the better. so I hope you're not too attached to that outfit yet. We always wear gloves, and we don't touch anything we don't have to. And I know it's gross, but you'll be saving your nail clippings from now on. Sorry, they're great decoy fodder. We didn't have to worry about any of that stuff then, though. The hound is out of commission for a good while, and regular search doesn't have much to go on anymore. So we turned south, because why the hell not, and keep going for a couple days. Way down into Nevada. You're quiet most of the time, holding on tight, sorting out your thoughts, I guess. We talk a bit here and there when we stop. It's so easy to see you're growing harder, more jaded and bitter. Not at me, but at the world, at all this unfair bullshit we've had to deal with. It's a little heartbreaking, but I also feel the same way. So we kind of feed off of each other, Get this attitude of fuck everything. At least we're together. We focus on that a lot, actually. We always try to stay close. We touch constantly. We hold each other at night and we kiss a lot. More for comfort than anything else. And a couple days later, you ask me what will happen to you when the Max that got captured takes over. Yeah, it dawns on us for the first time. It's not dying, of course not. What you've done those few days, this person you're becoming, that'll be gone like it never existed. Part of you is relieved, because, obviously, but it's still awful, right? Well, weird, at least. And you know the kind of trauma that the new Max will have. Who knows what she'll want to do? And how will I take the change? Will I simply go with whatever she wants? Will I just love her the same? I mean, think back to our first week together. It was only 5 days, but we came out of it completely different people. The more we talk about it, the more convinced you become that the new Max will be someone else entirely. So with everything that's happened, you sort of go off the rails a bit at this point? You don't go crazy or something, you just kind of stop giving a shit about taking shortcuts. Everything starts to feel like one fat, cruel joke. Like fate itself is toying with you. Might as well start laughing with it. So the universe wants us to fuck around with time travel again? Fine. You got it. Want to ditch the bike and get a new car? Fuck it, here. Right off the lot, 0 down, no monthly payments. That other car's license plate will do. They won't miss it, right? And who the hell needs money for groceries? It's like a magic trick. We're standing there in the S-Mart parking lot and things keep popping out of your coat. Boom, deli sandwiches. Boom, half-gallon of chocolate milk. Boom, whole bags of fruit and snacks and maxi pads because you'll be starting pretty soon. And I just can't stop laughing. Running low on cash? We're in Nevada. Let's tear through the Vegas Strip like there's no tomorrow. Which isn't that far from the truth after all. And then it's easy to sleep on a real bed when the front counter forgets they checked you in. Well, it felt good at the time in a rebellious and destructive kind of way. But honestly, I think it was our lowest point ever. We were getting to a place in our heads where nothing mattered to us but each other. I don't feel proud of it. I embraced it way too easily. I should have tried harder to keep you true to yourself. To help you rise above the tide of shit crashing on your head. Instead, I let myself fall back into the Chloe I never wanted to be. And at night, well, you can imagine what we do at night. We get over the whole it's too soon thing in a hurry. We don't even talk about it. There's this force pulling us close. We're not fighting it anymore. 0 restraint. And sure, the sex is grounded in love. Deep and sincere love. But all this anger and frustration that's been piling up inside, it's like a flood breaking through a levee. It feels a bit messed up. And awesome, but kind of twisted. You want me to keep you awake for as long as I can. There's some real wild abandon to it. Some desperation. It just, I don't know. I remember it fondly, but I'm aware now that it wasn't healthy. None of it was. We're complicated people, I guess. We were dealing with things in our own way, or maybe we were sick of dealing with things, so we stopped caring for a while. I know, not romantic at all. I'm sorry. I wish I could just say there were candles and slow music and coy giggles with longing looks and all that shit, but no. We went wild at each other. We let it all out. We made love and then we fucked and everything in between after that. God, I'm sorry. It sounds awful when I put it that way. Shit, is this too much information? I forget you're not used to talking about sex stuff with me anymore. Well, hey, in my defense, I can barely think of anything else right now. What with you being practically on top of me? I don't think you realize how distracting it is. No, don't move. I didn't say that. Stay right here. It'll be a cruel test of will to keep going like this, but I'll manage. We get into a fight on the last night, actually. I'm trying to bring up some kind of long-term plan, trying to figure out what the hell we are going to do to keep ahead of this guy, and eventually turn the tables. You don't even want to think about it. You're like, what's the fucking point? Let's keep moving and let the real Max deal with the problem. I'm frustrated because I'm feeling the guilt. I'm thinking about my mom and my dad and what they'll say if I don't learn from 1,000 mistakes I've made. You taught me that we can't give the finger to the world and expect problems to solve themselves. It's the wrong thing to say to you, though. You tell me that I've no fucking clue what guilt really is. So I say a bunch of crap that I don't mean, and you do the same. We were barely hanging by a thread at this point, you know? It doesn't take much for it to become full-blown meltdown. Lots of yelling, lots of tears. No, it wasn't just angry, self-loathing bullshit that doesn't help anyone. I'm not going to repeat it. We weren't even angry at each other. Why would we be? We just needed a target. 15 minutes later, we were already hugging and blubbering apologies and feeling like assholes. I always feel like a total bitch when I'm mad at you. We kiss and make up pretty thoroughly, and that's how we fall asleep. Exhausted, holding each other. We thought we'd have time to talk in the morning, but the change happens in the middle of the night. I'm asleep and I'm the big spoon, because that's how we roll. And suddenly, you're waking me up, holding on tight enough to choke me, weeping, laughing, saying my name over and over. Oh my god, Chloe, we're naked. I hadn't seen you that happy since we were kids. It was great. So yeah, welcome home, Betamax. You take some time to settle down and properly blush, and I take some time to get used to how weird it is. And so, the questions begin. I try to fill you in on everything, which leaves you far less shocked than I thought you'd be. Helen's a pleasant surprise, and her descent to petty crime is not so pleasant, but you get it. Also, the wound on your arm hurts like a motherfucker, which is weird because you weren't complaining before. You give me bare bones of your end things, so it's obvious you don't want to talk about it at all. I ask how'd you get out. You answer that you did whatever was necessary. The way your voice drops when you say it. Let's put it this way. I don't ask you about it ever again. I can't imagine. And you'll talk if you ever want to, which you never did. Which I'm pretty sure it's in the journal, if you want all the morbid details. So, I go back to what we've done. And all the while you keep inching closer and closer. And I'm yapping away about Helen's attitude or something like that when you up and kiss me just like that. It's not just a I'm happy to see you kiss, if you know what I mean. You look at me for a moment, you touch my cheek, and you lean in for more. You are so nervous that you're trembling. But there's absolutely no question as to what you want. I'm like, holy shit, are you sure? You just went through hell. Maybe take some time to adjust or whatever. Don't push yourself to do something too soon, or for the wrong reasons. You tell me you've been living a nightmare, where all you hear from me is pain and misery, where you live desperate to be with me to make it better. And now none of that is real anymore. It doesn't exist. You woke up into a wonderful dream. That's everything you want. So you're going to make the best of it, because it could end at any moment. Words of wisdom as far as I'm concerned. Hey, you're naked and smiling right in front of me. There is only so much restraint I can muster. Funny part is, it was so different. All the tenderness and almost reverent. You're so careful and gentle, like I might break if you touch me the wrong way. And you fumbled a lot because, it's your first time all over again, which was a hilarious thing to realize. I said it felt unhealthy before, right? This is the opposite of that. It feels like you're healing, like I'm giving you the world. All I need to do is be there. Be happy and enjoy myself, and I'm giving you the world. Catharsis and orgasm. Come on, it's not smutty. It's deep. I'm being deep and insightful. What, you'd rather I skipped all the sexy bits? Yeah, I don't think so. Seriously though, it was fucking magical. I'm not even joking. When I feel the insecurities creep in, I need to remind myself that it isn't all in my head. That you love me just as much as I love you. I look to that memory. I I think of how happy you were to be there with me. Alright, I knew I'd get sappy again. Enough about that.
From fertile ground to stone and glass, from beating hearts to bone and ash, left out to stay here all alone. No one to carry the message home.